Hi, I am Richard Steenan, an industry analyst, and I am going to demo the analyst dashboard for cybersecurity research. So this is a complete dashboard that gives you the ability to sort and find one or any of the 2,983 vendors in the cybersecurity space. So this is the result of about 4,000 hours of investment in order to find these companies, categorize them, determine what they do, and then track them with updates at least once every month. And so when you first log in, you'll get to the Explore page, which we're looking at now, and you can quickly search on a vendor name and see the page for that vendor as it pops up. And just to walk you through what on a vendor page, you see the name, the category, the subcategory. So 1Password is in the identity and access management space, but its product is a password management solution. It was founded in 2005 and located in Toronto. We also track the major events that vendors appear in, and 1Password appeared at Black Hat this past month. And of course, we got links to their website, their LinkedIn page, and their Crunchbase profile as well. We've been tracking 1Password since the first issue of Security Yearbook 2020 was released. And back then, 1Password had 67 employees. We were tracking it quarterly until we got to July, and now we're tracking monthly. So we actually track the growth per month for every single vendor. We also have leadership information, so we try and get somebody, the head of marketing, head of finance, head of sales, and of course founders and CEO. We also track investment in each vendor. So to date, 1Password has taken in $920 million, $620 million of that this year, which explains some of their fantastic growth. Each investor, we track information on them as well. So we have, for instance, a profile of Excel, which actually, as near as we can tell, has the companies in their portfolio that are cybersecurity, and we track. So this is just a list of all of Excel's 33 investments. And then we do some analysis of Excel's investments, so we can look at their entire portfolio and see in which of the 17 categories that we put these vendors in that the Excel has invested in. So you can see not a lot in deception or email security, but the 6 different investments in endpoint security, probably because Excel has been around for a long time. And then some bar graphs of how that works. So back to the Explore page, you can, of course, look at, say, all the vendors in a country. So say Israel, which of course is number 2 after the United States, which has about 1,500. Quickly apply filter, probably one of the most important data elements that come out of even the simple search is the actual number of vendors that meet the criteria in the search. And I use this frequently for answering questions. First of all, how many cybersecurity vendors are headquartered in Israel? The answer is 257. I'll show you in a second some of the things we're doing to determine, okay, yeah, they say they're in Israel. We can also look for or filter vendors down by category. Israel is very hot in IoT security, so we can apply that filter and see. And sure enough, Israel has 39 IoT security startups. And then we can say which ones were founded after 2012. 35. So 4 were founded before 2012. And then we can search by head count. But first, by this point, you can just sort by head count and see that of these vendors, Motive is the largest with 194 people, and it's grown almost 33% so far in 2022. We also track funding, and we can add other fields. If you want to see what kind of funding they got in 2021, you can add that. The growth in 2021 at the same time, you can just add that field, and you've got all that data. At any point, even when you haven't applied any filters, you can click here and download a CSV file of all of our data. All the vendors are displayed in this case, or anytime if you're a subscriber, anytime that you've filtered and created a list. And then we can also search on funding. So you might say minimum funding of $3 million and apply that to the filter. And 23 of them have funding. And you can sort on total funding and see that Upstream Security has the most funding from this subset. So a couple other features. We created a watch list. This happens to be a watch list I created because as an industry analyst, I'm very interested in companies that are not doing well. In other words, in 2022, who are the companies that have shrunk the most? Turns out sometimes this is an indicator that a company is going out of business rapidly, but quite often I'll call up and there'll be some explanation for why a company is shrinking so much. And same thing, provide analysis of what's going on there. The last feature that I have to show you is what we call insights. This is basically a news feed. Every night at midnight, we go out and capture all of the news from millions of sites that are related to cybersecurity. This is powered by an integration with Feedly, and Feedly is adding some artificial intelligence to their discovery and discernment of what is cybersecurity. And as we download them, we parse them into buckets for M&A, funding, regulations, lawsuits, product updates, executive mentions, and patents. So through all this, you get a tremendous understanding of where the space is growing. If we look at one more company, Axionis, which of course has taken in a tremendous amount of funding. Their asset management, and also we've got them tagged as cloud attack surface management. You can see their funding. You can see their competitors based on direct competitors. Those are any company that has the same subcategory, but some companies are very large, like Forescout, and they have a chasm solution. So we've got tag-based competitors as well. And then you can see the news feed associated. So any article that mentions Axionis will be available at the bottom of their page. So that's the basis of the dashboard for cybersecurity research. And feel free to reach out anytime to learn more.